Cash App method. Alright, so what you're gonna need for this Cash App method, right? You're gonna need 2 phones. Alright, man, so for this Cash App method, right, you're gonna need 2 phones, right? You can do it with 1 phone, but it makes it way harder, you know what I mean? So, for this method, if you can, you wanna have 2 phones. Alright, so with the second phone, right? Like, your first phone could be like your main phone or whatever. So, say you have Cash App on there. You don't really gotta do nothing to the first phone. This is just where you're gonna receive payments at, right? Now, I would recommend that you have your first Cash App on like a CPN, so there's no way that it can track back to you, because if they look at it, and I've never seen this happen too many times, like where they look at the Cash App and see like where it was sent to and do all the digging to figure it out. But I'm sure if they wanted to, they definitely could go figure it out. I mean, I think it's just the fact that Cash App's response team is so slow, so a lot of times they don't go and try to do that. But this is it can still happen. That's my whole point when saying that. So make sure that you're being like very secure when you're doing this. Either make a different Cash App that you can use as your main one to receive the payments, but that's going to be very hard now because of the verification. You might be able to receive like a couple hundred, but if you keep trying to bust it down to like on that account and like cash it out to your bank account, they're going to ask you for verification. You might get away with like 200, like a payment of $200 sent to that Cash App, that new Cash App that you create, but it's going to be very hard, man, especially now with verification, and that's all you'll get from that one. You know what I mean? You want to definitely get more than that. This method has potential to gain 1K a day if you do it right. And plus, you would have to wait once making a new one, because you do have to have some type of history for the method to work. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to receiving the payment. So that's what you'll need for your first one, right? Like I said, for your first one that you're receiving payments on, it could be a regular one that you have, that you made with a CPN to verify. You can make one with a CPN to verify, right? With your actual name on it, right? And you're verifying it with this CPN with your actual name on it, because you're able to you have an ID with that name on it. So you can verify with your ID, but they still won't have no proof or no way to connect anything with you, because it's not your real social security number. You know what I mean? So that's a way to get around it and be able to verify a Cash App easy. But like I said, that's the long way. That's going to take a little bit longer, you know what I'm saying? Because you have to wait on it to age a little bit and all this type of stuff. The easiest way to go about it would be just to use your regular one, or like I said, use one with the CPN and wait like 2 weeks. Or you could buy one, because that's what you're going to have to do anyway throughout this method. You're going to have to buy one, so it would just make it where you would have to buy 2. But you don't have to buy 2. Like I said, you can use your regular one. It's just not as safe. So you're definitely going to have to buy one when it comes to phone 2. So then with phone 1, you're good. But with phone 2, that's when you're going to have to actually buy a Cash App account with transactions. Because this is going to be the one that you connect the pools to. So with this one, you're going to, I have sites if you need to know where to get those. Like I said, there are plenty of resources. But you have to be very careful. I mean, very careful when looking at these different resources. Because 9 times out of 10, they will be a scam. That's why you need like a trusted resource. If you don't have a trusted resource or a trusted person that you can get those from, if you need those, I do have those. I do also have the resource if you want to go straight to the resource. But you're definitely gonna need that for the transaction to go through. Because if you try to connect it to a brand new account and then like try to connect the funds to a brand new account, it won't work. You know what I'm saying? If you try to put it through, it won't work most of the time. It has to have a little bit of history on it in order for it to work. So, okay, now, you have that one. And once you bought that one, like I said, if you need to know where to get those, hit me up. Once you have that account linked up to phone 2, wait, I skipped this stuff. With phone 2, when you're downloading Cash App, right? This is before you even have the Cash App account, the link to it or anything like that with the transactions on it. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to download Cash App with your VPN on. So say you already have Cash App on phone 2, right? You're going to delete it and re-download it with a VPN on. Now, socks will make this method almost 100% unbreakable. You know what I'm saying? Socks will make this method almost go through all the time. But Cash App isn't as strict as like when carding online or like doing different bank stuff. So you don't always need socks and like RDP and all that with Cash App. You should be able to get off with a VPN, but it'll be harder sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It'll definitely be harder. So what you need to do is get your VPN, go ahead and download it. Now, turn on your socks or whatever. If you're going to use socks, turn on your socks before you actually go in and start the method on there. You know what I mean? So, okay, boom, you'll turn on your socks. You got your VPN on, you connect everything. So you go to your second Cash App account. And now this is where you connect the pools that you have to the Cashapp log that you have. So now you have this Cashapp log with transactions to it, and then you connect the pulls to it to where you can pull the money off. Now also, when you're getting pulls for this, it does have to be a debit card. It can't be a credit card. You can't connect credit cards to Cashapp. Just a word of advice, because I know a lot of people wouldn't know, and they would get on the sites or whatever, or go try to buy a credit card for somebody. A credit card is not going to work on this. You have to get a debit card. Look up some of the best debit cards with the highest limits, and try to get that debit card, because those debit cards with the highest limits, those will be the ones that is easier to scam, just because of the simple fact that it's so much money on there most of the time that you already know. Most of the time, it's so much money on there, the little amounts they'll just push through. It's the bigger amounts then that they start to look at as fraud, or is it fraud, whatever. So definitely get like the best debit cards, you know what I mean? So now once you connect that debit card, now you're ready to work. Like I said, now it would definitely be best if you, well, I wouldn't say best. It would be best for it to go through, but not best for security reasons if you use your actual Cashapp. Because now it looks like it's going from a Cashapp with transactions to another Cashapp with transactions. You might have a little bit of trouble if your first phone, if you have a Cashapp but you don't use the one that is connected